So what are the 5 key trends which have been happening in the last month? Firstly, fire safety. Secondly, we've got the adoption of modular and panelised systems. The third one is government big changes, big funding announcements, big leadership changes. The fourth one is a shift from selling condos and apartments to build to rent market. And the fifth one is a big focus on viability. So starting with the first one, fire safety. Remains a critical topic here in the UK. There's still lots of delays from the BSR. The number of new build apartments being applied for is still more than the number which are actually being approved at the back end of the funnel. But the process, and there are more approvals now flowing through from the BSR as it's starting to get a bit of a grip on the situation. Competency remains a key topic. There's more to come in this coming month. And the Part B changes, and along with that, what the BSR told us about laminate glass being consulted on, they said autumn, here we are, it's autumn now. We look forward to seeing those coming out fairly shortly. And also over in Ireland, there's a focus more on fire safety. The new technical document, Part B, is also live and applies to current jobs, and so there's more conversations happening there around fire safety more generally. The second topic is Panelised Modular. Panelised Modular has been very much an emerging trend, but it's absolutely mainstream now in a lot of markets. In the UK, we're seeing a lot of panelised systems, often chosen because of fire safety and the offsite brought together there. You've got much more controlled process than if you're building it on site. We're seeing lots of precast wall panels, always have been popular in Ireland anyway, but also over in Canada now, there's more systems adopting the use of panelised approaches rather than full modular. And part of that is that it's easier to make it work and stack up and easier to adopt into the process. It's more flexible than volumetric, but partly because of the benefits it brings in relation to sustainability. We're seeing that over here in the UK because of Part O tightening up. We're seeing that in Ireland. We're seeing that over in Canada as well with the likes of the Toronto Green Standard. Government and big changes there. We've obviously had Angela Rayner resign from post. We've got some big significant changes from a government point of view. In Ireland, the emergency housing bill, which is due out at the end of this month or so. In Canada, have got a focus on the government actually putting more grants towards the construction of off-site processes and products. Looking forward to see how this actually plays out in the marketplace around the world. Viability is a big issue. In the UK, the costs of going through Gateway 2 is driving slightly lower rise buildings to move underneath the gateway requirements, or otherwise having to look at the taller buildings because there's a certain amount of those buildings which actually won't stack up financially. Over in other countries, North America and over parts of the European countries as well, there's challenges with viability. We're seeing with viability that the most effective way of unlocking that process is by looking at it right up front and streamlining the approach from day one, where you can look at the aspirations, look at the challenges of the project, and then streamline that approach by working together collaboratively with the right partners. The fifth and final one, partly because of viability, is actually a move away from sales of apartments and condos over towards more build to rent. We're seeing that across multiple different marketplaces. In the UK, that's been the case for a little while, but certainly there has been a bit of a slowing off in that market too, but not to the same extent of what's happening in the condo and apartment sales markets. So in summary, there's lots of negativity, lots of uncertainty, but at the same time, there's lots of green shoots and a movement forward and cranking some of these big issues up slightly in the agendas of the governments around the world. Will hopefully see more of a sustainable growth in construction shortly.